So as per usual, I was thinking about what kind of joke we could do to start this final podcast. But then I realised that if everybody had listened through from beginning to end, that is the joke.
Oh.
Hello and welcome to episode 27 and the final Pomcast. My name is Jared.
Hi, I'm David.
And we have decided to no longer flog a dead horse.
What? Where did you get this horse?
I was gifted it.
In the mouth?
No, I didn't look it in the mouth.
What is this? What's that?
Never look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah. What the fuck does that mean?
I think the point of the saying is to not question what you are given, if it is free.
Right. By gift horse, they mean an actual gift that is a horse?
I'm not 100% sure. Would we like to consult Google to find out the origins of this?
Not really.
I'm going to do it anyway.
It's exciting
Never
stuff.
look a gift horse in the mouth. It's the third one that crops up. Don't question the value of a gift. The proverb refers to the practice of evaluating the age of a horse by looking at its teeth. So...
What?
So the idea is to just not... never look into the value of a gift. So say if you're given a book and you think to yourself, oh, okay, I really want this. Start again. You get given a book and you think to yourself, oh, that's quite intriguing. I wonder where they got it from. And then you go searching and you find out the value of it. And then you say they've only spent $15 on you, and you think, oh, that's a bit cheap. The whole point is to just not look into those things.
Right.
Because then you're disappointed.
What does that have to do with horses' teeth?
Because that's how you determine the age of a horse, is looking at their teeth.
So if someone gives you an elderly horse,
Yes.
you're just meant to be like, thanks for this decrepit animal. It doesn't have any teeth. What do I do with this piece of shit with legs?
I was wanting to make this last Pomcast slightly interesting, but I fear that we're probably not going to achieve that.
You said the saying.
Yeah, but then you questioned it.
You ended up Googling it. I was ready to move on.
Yeah, well, I wanted to know now. I wanted to know when you said it. I was like, oh, I wonder what that... I had an idea of what it meant, but I wasn't 100% sure. But anyway, yes, this is the final episode of the Pomcast, as we are departing tomorrow to go on a 3.5-week tour of the European continent, or part of it.
Tour? I was just going for a walk.
Oh.
It's my European pilgrimage.
Yes, we are... I wouldn't call it a pilgrimage. If that's what you want to call it, go for it. But we're going to Stockholm, Copenhagen, Berlin, Frankfurt, in Belgium, then to Brussels, possibly a day to Amsterdam, and then back to London. And
foggy London town.
We have decided to end the podcast series here because it's a fairly natural stopping point. Not the number, but in terms of the space of time.
2027? No, because that's the age that everyone dies. Celebrities, the 27.
Oh yeah, there's a little...
So this, very popular, famous podcast has ended its life at 27.
Yeah. And not via a drug overdose, but just because it can?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll get famous one day and people will come across this and they'll be like, wow, these were really boring early 20-year-old people.
Set them to private.
Yeah. Maybe not. Depends.
Goodbye.
Yeah. But I was curious, David. I know that...
No, I'm David. You're Jared. You're Curious Jared.
All right. I'm Curious Jared, and I am curious for your answer, David, about what your most entertaining... What was the most entertaining thing that we've done since we've been in Liverpool? So, since February or we've been other places, but what have you enjoyed the most?
Oh no. In Liverpool or just...
No, we'll go in Liverpool and where we've been.
Let's give a good old rack of the brain. Do you have one? Because do you have...
I have a couple of things that
Great.
will stick in my mind for a very long time.
Okay, do you want to just say them and then my brain can do things in the background, maybe?
Well, in terms of what I've done in Liverpool, probably the thing that will stick with me was seeing Monozzle Brass in May, because I've been wanting to see them for so long and then had the opportunity to go. And they were utterly fantastic. I was in a building that stuns, not only from the outside, but also when you're sitting in it. The Liverpool Philharmonic is a glorious piece of architecture. And the company that I had that night was really good as well. So that's something that will stick in my brain. In terms of banding, definitely going to France and staying in Chateau Charlie and performing in a church from the 12th century is not something you do every day, and I would never have had that opportunity if I'd stayed in Australia. So that will forever stay with me. And then in terms of what we've done, definitely going to Edinburgh to the festival and experiencing the huge amount of people that were there, and also
It's a lot of people.
the acts that we saw.
It's a good axe, very sharp.
Again, nothing that you could see elsewhere.
Two-handed.
The
Double.
Yeah. The Melbourne Festival does get close to it, but it's not got the same feel in a city that is not only ancient but is also so modern at the same time. It's an incredible city, and we saw a lot of great art in that small space of time. So yeah, those are my top 3 things.
Clap.
That's gonna peak, I'm sorry.
That was too loud. That's why I did a soft clap. I didn't get full connection like...
I didn't even move my hands that much.
That's not the... It's the connection. A very loud clap with a very low amount. And you get the slap in there. It's in the wrist. Very
Do it later.
clap.
Have you
had
enough time to think about what you have
course
enjoyed,
not.
what you have entertained,
I like
been entertained by?
continuing my pilgrimage. No. In Liverpool, the St. James Gardens.
St. James Garden, as in the one that's at... Wait, where's that?
Liverpool Cathedral Garden.
Oh, right, sorry. Is that called St. James Garden?
Pretty sure.
I didn't realise it was St. James. Or am I I'm getting confused with another church, don't worry.
It's a big building.
It's
Big and red and mouldy.
Yeah, it took so long to build as
mossy. Yes, it looks cool.
well.
And the garden there is just like embedded into the ground because it was built like an open... in a mine thingy.
Quarry.
Not in my mine. An open mine. That's basically a quarry.
Yep. Continue, please, before I have a stroke.
What's the technical definition between a quarry and an open mine? Come on. You want to say...
Well, a quarry is open, and a mine is something that is enclosed, so you go into a tunnel. A mine is technically a glorified tunnel, whereas a quarry is open cut.
Yeah, an open mine.
Yeah, there's a word for that.
Yeah, quarry.
As much as it seems...
That's how you describe what a quarry is. It's an open mine.
Yes, but it has a name. And if you just say quarry, people think of an open mine. You can then only
good.
But you then only use one word instead of 2.
Well, the word quarry didn't come to mind.
That's why I said it, but then you kept using open mine.
It's because it's the same thing.
I'm unwell, shut up.
Liverpool Cathedral Garden's got lots of tree and grass, and it's green and rock and old, and I was just walking around trying to find a gravestone Trying to find someone who was born in the 1700s. Found a few of them.
Wow. That's fairly cool. They're probably dirt now.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, they got bones, probably. They'll be in there.
Maybe. So, moving on from the wonders of the church garden, or the cathedral gardens,
yes.
what else sticks in your brain?
The botanical garden. That's quite good. It's just gardens.
It's just gardens.
It's gardens and cemeteries.
Yep.
Graveyards. Big old buildings, castles, churches.
Yeah, you don't quite experience that in Australia, do you?
No, because everything's stupid.
It's because it's new.
But it's not good new. It's like,
No, that's because we got the end of the fantastic era of architecture in the terms of, like, late German Romantic and Gothic architecture and French and a little bit of British. And then we moved into the 20th century where everything's a bit shit and made of concrete slabs. And now we're in the 21st century of modern architecture where I would argue that probably 60% of what is produced now that is new is so completely ugly that it just deserves to be torn down. Because there is no merit in it whatsoever. Just because a building is made of glass does not make it pretty, nor functional.
Oh, God.
And you spend so much money then cooling and heating the bloody place.
Just live in a hole in the ground.
No, just build things properly.
Yeah, in the ground. In the ground. in the ground?
My architectural brand stops now.
And then Wales was good. Went to Wales.
It was
Looked
lovely.
at a thing.
We stayed in Aberystwyth and then went to Harlech Castle.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Went on some walks.
Edinburgh. I like cities with a palette.
Like a colour palette or a...
Yes.
Right.
A colour palette.
Yes.
So you can stand on a thing and look at the buildings and they're all the same. But with slightly different shapes.
See, that doesn't interest me as much. That's why I like London, because it is so varied.
Mm.
I like
Liverpool's varied.
Liverpool is incredibly varied as a city. I do actually quite like it.
It's like yeah. Mm.
It somewhat reminds me of Brisbane a little bit, which is odd. The only real major difference is that Brisbane is a hell of a lot cleaner. Liverpool just looks like it's been covered in a film of grime. And
it literally is covered in a film of grime.
and I see so many people in council uniform wandering around cleaning it. And I don't understand how it gets that bad. I don't know whether it's because I suppose, in general, the majority of cars people drive in the UK are diesels. And they produce a hell of a lot more soot than and carbon emissions than what petrols do. So, I don't know. Maybe it's that. There's probably a reason. But anyway, we're leaving this city to go on to bigger and brighter things. So,
What, mainland Europe?
yeah, it's bigger and brighter. There's more electricity there. And there's no Theresa May. Useless. Stupid woman. Rambles on for however many moments in Florence, and then decides to just say nothing of worth at all. And then won't chastise Boris Johnson because... well, nobody really knows why. But anyway, British politics is strange. Australian politics is weirder. And then you get America. But anyway. So, we've done that. We've done the north thing.
The north thing?
Yeah, we're in the north.
But we're going more north.
Yes, to Scandinavia.
No. Scandinavia.
Scandinavia.
So I like open minds.
Fucking quarry.
Scandinavia.
Scandinavia. Would you like to talk about autism?
Don't laugh. It's a serious issue. Don't. Bit of a chuckle. bit of a giggle.
I shall clear my throat.
Virtual autism.
So, yes, an ABC article was posted yesterday, and it was titled as follows: "Too much social media could hamper your child's ability to read facial emotions, study finds." Now, the article goes on to talk about a few areas. It was the University of the Sunshine Coast, as well as was conducting research similar to what has been done in the United Kingdom and France, which pitted people who grew up with social media and people who grew up without it, and how they performed socially. And the French have labelled the people that grew up with social media, the condition to be virtual autism, where these people who have spent a lot of time in front of social media, they're not able to pick up social cues and read facial expressions and things like that. And it's slightly concerning. And when I was reading it, I was thinking, yeah, I can sort of understand where they're coming from. But then it got... As I finished the article, I realised one major thing, which is where the journalism is slightly poor. David, would you like to point out the obvious flaw with the article?
There's the obvious flaw. They've written it.
Yes, and at the bottom of it, there is not only no citation...
Posted at 2:46 a.m.
Yeah. So this went up, probably only edited once, because editors are just being removed from journalism, because who needs people to check whether things are not only formed correctly, but also also containing the correct information.
Because it's digital, you can just update it.
Yes.
But nobody cares, because it moves too fast anyway, and it's...
But there's no citation at the bottom, and there is no link to any of the 3 studies mentioned whatsoever. And the only quotes are from a Dr. Sharman.
Who's this Dr. Sharman? I don't know.
It doesn't state where they're from.
It's just Dr. Sharman.
One can only assume that... Dr. Sharman conducted the study with psychology honours student Theron Kander.
But who's Dr. Sharman?
Yeah, it doesn't state... One would presume that she's from the University of the Sunshine Coast.
I don't know.
But what is the point of writing about a study being conducted that's pointing out a flaw with social media, but then not to link anything further from it? And this I can understand why people trust the ABC, because no matter what people think, they do publish things in an unbiased way. Yes, it doesn't contain an awful lot of, I suppose, constructive content a lot of the time, but this is a study. This is something that's come out as factual, and they won't even link to that.
It's lies. It's all lies.
I don't know. The only link that they've got is to the interview that they did on ABC Radio Brisbane. Not really enough, because that still doesn't link to anything to do with the study itself.
This is where you need peer-reviewed journals.
Yes.
Social media.
On more social media news, Twitter, my wonderful new friend in the world of the internet. Some people have been gifted the ability as a trial to create longer tweets, now with 280 characters instead of 140. David frowns.
No, it's just my face.
Oh. No, you're fucked for life then, aren't you?
No, I lied. It's not my face.
No. So yeah, longer tweets.
Don't care.
I know, but I kind of do, because I was reading the arguments and everything like that. And it rarely does go against what I like Twitter for, which is that people, because they are limited, have to be concise. And if you give people the ability to then double their character count, they will waffle. Imagine what Donald Trump would do with 280 characters. He's almost incited World War III with 140. He's definitely going to incite it with 280.
I mean, people post. Don't a lot of people just post tweets in multiple sections anyway?
You have a thread, which is something that the platform allows you to do, which is if you've got a longer point to make, you do that as you go. But people don't, they don't stop mid-word to then carry on in the next tweet. They've got multiple points to make about one certain subject, and they make them in that thread, which is why I like those. There's been so many good ones in this last year, in the last, 8 months that I've been on the platform, and get shared by people. And they're quite a good way of developing an argument, because you really do have to be concise, and it's something that really isn't taught in the education system anymore. Because they just want you to reach a word limit and regurgitate information from people that are so old and in some cases so outdated in their studies that it no longer becomes relevant. So I don't know. I'm just it's a bit weird. The whole world's just going to shit. Twitter's just changing shit because it can.
They're a company. They could do what they want.
Yeah, just like Facebook wants to fuck itself over apparently with every change that it makes.
Yeah, Facebook is literally full of shit. And
yeah,
Twitter is at least the majority chronologically ordered.
True.
Unless it's like in case you missed it or something.
Yeah, I switched that off because I don't really care.
Yeah.
I can miss things. I'm not going to get so annoyed that, oh no, I've missed something on social media, or I didn't get invited to that event. I don't give a shit. It was in the past.
Facebook is entirely curated. And then you can just boost your post by giving Facebook $5 to reach just a ridiculous amount of people, which is most likely untrue.
Yes.
And then it says, oh, you've reached this amount of people. Give us more money and you can reach even more. It's what the fuck? Why?
Why does this benefit me?
But then Facebook decides what people see anyway, so just
the one thing that I've been finding incredibly annoying about Facebook of late is when I restarted my Facebook page at the beginning of this year. Since that point, it has at the top find friends, and it has done as I've gained more. I'm now at 154. That's a very selected amount of people.
Oh man.
I know that
so many more friends. I got 45.
Yeah. I know that you have a lot less.
Just kill them.
And the only reason that I've got 150-ish people on there is because there's people now from overseas that I'm going to be wanting to keep in contact with.
Oh, gross.
There's family and things like that. But then again, I don't have everybody from my family on there, for good reason. But
they're terrible.
There is... It's not that they're terrible, it's just I don't see...
why don't them on Facebook then?
I don't see eye to eye with all of my cousins. I don't need to know what's going on in their life. I find that out from...
Because they're terrible.
No.
Because they don't matter to you in the slightest.
Wow. They do somewhat, but not enough to have them on Facebook.
So, literally nothing.
Well, okay. But that's a whole other argument I'd have to think about and make concise, because there is a reason I don't do it. But there is... it still has up the top, even with 154 people on it, still has find friends at the top. And one thing that Facebook started doing this last month, which is I cannot get it to work if you set it to show most recent post. It just it's just no, there's been nothing posted recently that you need to know about. Just go back to top stories. It's fine. That's everything you need there, which is pretty much just somebody liked this shit. There's an ad. Somebody liked something else. Blah, blah, blah. And it's why am I even looking at this? Close the tab. Now though,
That is the trick.
Yeah.
Just
Close
see
the
the
tab.
find friends button and just go up a little bit further to the tab and there's a little X.
yeah, and you just hit that.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
No more find friends.
But
No
the
more
one,
Facebook,
the
no more
one thing,
life.
the one thing that I find hilarious is I do grant myself every couple of days just to sort of scroll and find, because there's banned things on there that I kind of want to read and
Gross.
stuff like that. So I scroll through for that. But then I reached it a couple of times where I've scrolled past about, I don't know, 10 stories or posts or something like that. And then it just stops. And it comes up with a message down the bottom saying, to see more stories, add more friends or like more pages.
Wait.
And then if you refresh that, it removes every post that you've seen and just has that message up the top.
I've never had that
No.
problem.
And it does it on the phone and it does it on the browser.
What?
Yeah.
Something's wrong with yours.
It legitimately gives me a message to say, you've seen all that there is to see at the moment, add more friends or like more pages, and then you'll get access to the rest of Facebook. And it's like, okay. And that's when I get frustrated with it even more and I just close the tab and I can't be bothered. And that's when I just go directly to the websites I want, because I scroll through some of them just to see what, particularly when it was Nationals a couple of weeks ago, 4 Bars Rest and British Bandsmen and everything like that were posting stuff. So I wanted to see what they had to say quickly and then click on the link from there. But no, apparently Facebook wouldn't allow me to do that and doesn't want me to see anybody's statuses. So you want to know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to keep it there for Messenger.
That's all I have it for.
It's just fucking...
Massager. That's not right.
No. Ah, dear. Oh, what? So we're very much coming to the end of our little series.
Well, little... It's not really. It's a lot of hours.
Well, that's probably the average. The average has been about, 35, 40 minutes?
Yeah.
Probably 35.
It's probably a good 15 or so hours.
Yeah, there's just over half a day's worth of content for you to listen to. You poor bastards.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't, because that is the joke.
Go listen to Hello Internet.
Yeah.
It's far more entertaining.
Hello Internet, go on to the BBC4 history podcasts. They're very entertaining. Car Advice have a podcast.
Read a book.
Yeah, read a book.
Find a book. Read it with your eyes. Good. Get. I think I've got faster at reading.
I've gotten better at concentrating.
Just in general.
Oh,
that's a...
If there's one thing that I can take from my time in the UK, it's definitely I've found better ways of doing things, particularly with my writing, because handwriting is far superior than typing.
As a first draft.
As a first draft, because I actually get the bloody story done.
You want to bloody handwrite a full novel? No.
Do you want to know the sad part is I probably would.
But don't.
Why?
Because you have better things to do with your time, like write first drafts of new work.
Oh, that's the thing. All my first drafts will be in handwritten form.
It's a system.
Because I finally finished a story. It's a short story, but I finished it.
Can I read it?
If you want.
May I read it?
Yes.
Because I can read.
Yes.
As I just said.
Yes, you can read it. I will send you the link.
Great.
Not send you a link, send you the bloody document. I don't upload things to the internet. Fuck that.
What did you write? Wait, what program do you use? It's Pages?
Pages, but I save everything as a PDF. It is compatible with Word, but...
Wait, you save it as a PDF?
Yeah. When I've finished, I save it as the Pages document, and then I export it as a PDF to make it easier to send. So everybody can open it and read it.
Save it as an EPUB.
No.
Put it on Amazon.
See, I'm not...
Can you just put in...
No.
Do you have to get published to be on Amazon?
Yes. There has to be a publisher linked to you, and whether it be an independent or a big one, it doesn't matter. But I've been reading a lot of this because I was curious about... Because I've met a lot of authors in in my time on this planet, and all of them have said, don't post your stories online because...
Don't.
Yeah. If it is anything but fan fiction, do not post it online.
For free.
Because a publisher will not touch it, because you have because by posting it online, no one has rights over it.
Yeah.
That is, you are completely and utterly out of that loop now. That is not yours, that's public domain. So nothing I write will be published online in any way, shape or form.
Wait.
Unless it is linked with a publisher for e-publication.
You mean when you say published online?
Published online. It won't be uploaded online.
It won't be
Sorry.
posted for free.
No, it will never be posted for free on the internet.
But published as in published on Amazon.
Yes.
That would make sense.
If I was lucky enough to be published at some point...
You gotta have an ebook.
Yeah, it'll be an ebook plus a really lovely small paperback edition.
With some weird little embossed shiny stuff for that extra... You gotta get some embossing. Embossing, it's so nice.
I know,
though.
but...
You gotta get some embossing. People also, gotta enjoy if they're buying a physical book.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already paying more anyway. You just give it a nice emboss. Give it a nice cover.
But it wouldn't be glossy though, because I want...
No. But embossed.
Yes.
You gotta get a little bit of texture in there.
I will show you.
How about leather back? No.
No, not leather bound.
A hardback edition with fabric covering.
No. My book would not be a classic in
Do you know what I hate? I hate it when you get a hardback and it's just got like a paper wrap around it. What's the fucking point?
The dust covers shit me, because then you get bibliophiles that just... They're like, don't take the dust cover off, and it's like...
It's literally a piece of paper.
It
rips
annoying.
when you open the book.
The only dust covers that I have kept are for my first edition Dirk Gently books.
It's okay if it actually has the printed cover underneath, but then you get those ones which are just like cardboard.
Yeah.
It's just a dust cover with a nice artwork, and then cardboard, and you're like, why the fuck did I buy this? And then you throw it
into the
and it just goes off and flies away.
I will show you online, but
Pan
the publishing company, PAN, have released a new set of...
Cookware.
No, their most famous and most well-known science fiction works in a set. One of them is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, my favourite of all time novels.
I still haven't read the rest of those.
Yeah.
Reading.
And the new cover, it's a matte finish, and it's such a simplistic thing. It's blue, and it has an embossed Babelfish.
See, you gotta get the embossing.
Yeah, it's so stunningly simplistic. I just love that cover. If I ever get published, I want something like that. Just nice and simplistic and matte, not glossy. I fucking hate gloss.
With some emboss. Sexy emboss.
Now we're getting into the realms of fantasy, me being published.
Do it, you fuck.
I've got to build up a little collection of... I'm only halfway through my...
Construct a portfolio of work.
Short story, yes. Short stories, that's my goal.
Yeah.
I should have 3 or 4 done by the end of this year, and then I'm going to do 1 a month next year.
1 a month.
Yes. So I will have at least 12. Don't mimic my hand movements, thank you.
It's very precise.
I was a fucking conductor. 12. At least 12.
Is that the downbeat? 12.
With the wrong hand, yes, with my left hand. 12.
12.
Conducting in 12 is... We do it in 4. 1, 2, 3, 2.
You have a Kindle, don't you?
Yes, I do have a Kindle.
How do you like your Kindle?
Not a massive fan, to be honest. When I finished... I read 4 books on it at the start of this year, and I haven't touched it since April. The only thing that I've been doing is that once every 2 months it sits there on my bedside table and comes up with an exclamation mark and a low battery symbol, and I just plug it in, let it charge it back up, and live and sit there again.
Great.
Yeah, so that was somewhat of a waste of $99, but that's okay.
Oh, give it to me.
You gonna pay me?
No. I've got a phone. But
I'll probably just give it to you when I get home anyway.
I use Kindle on my phone, and the thing I like about... Because I read... well, before I was reading some fiction stuff, so there's a lot of talking and so there's quotations and layouts and stuff. But on other... Like, one I'm reading at the moment is Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow. It's just lots of words.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be in any sort of structure. So I can just use the word runner feature, which if you don't know what that is, it's really cool. Just flashes up all the words in front of your face, one by one. And I've realized by using that, I've slowly got when I started, I was on like 200 words a minute because it was really slow. I was like, how do people do this? And then over the course of reading a few books like that, I'm now up to 400 words a minute like that. And now I can just read normally faster because my brain's just like, I know what the word says by looking at it really fast. And then I can just like skim read and actually take in sentences. So that's actually helped me read normally faster as well.
Yes. Well, you build up those skills as with anything. My reading ability slowed down drastically when I was in university because you were having to read these things and make sure you were taking in the key points. So mine slowed down, my reading speed. It's only just beginning to pick up again now, but it's still quite slow at the moment. It's just... I feel bad because I can only...
That's why you need to get the Kindle app and read some stuff with Word Runner.
I'm more than happy just doing it, picking up novels, like actual papered books.
But this literally forces you to do it.
Yeah, I know it does, but at the same time...
It just makes you faster, and
I don't need to be more effective with my time reading.
Do it, though.
Why?
Because, do it.
No.
But you can read so many books. Just one. You can just read one book, really good.
You know I'm not going to do it.
Why not?
Because I don't need to. And there's no point because then I'd have to go back and rebuy all the books on Kindle that I already have.
No, because it just makes you faster at reading normally anyway.
You
can read more books.
I have about 35, 40 paperbacks waiting at home.
Yeah, so you want to read them.
Yeah.
Get better at reading. Then you can read them faster. And get even more books and fill a library, and then you become a librarian, and then your life is, on its way.
Yeah.
Out the door, you're dying.
Thank you for that. I'm more than happy building up my reading skill by just reading the paperbacks. I don't need an application.
But does that work?
Yes, I am getting quicker at it.
I couldn't do it. I just lost track of the words. I tried and read fast, and it's like none of them made any sense. I was like, I don't know what's happening. But then I used the thing, and my brain works fast. Good now. Boop.
David has now been switched off. I have unplugged him from the wall. And that's where we're going to end this. This is... Can you stop making noises, please? No.
Bye forever.
Yes, we are departing now. Your slightly longer last episode of the Pomcast, last one ever. We will be back for other things in the future. We're planning them at the moment. So, but don't hold your breath. I said don't.
What?
Anyway.
Is that the sound of holding my breath?
Yeah. Anyway, goodbye. It's been great.
Has it?
I've enjoyed it. They probably haven't.